Welcome back to my 1-70 guide for my Night Elf Druid. This is mostly a walkthrough and this is going to be level 45 to 50. But as always, there's nothing to it but to do it. I'm picking up where I just left off at, so I can keep spamming dungeons. I kind of gave up on questing. The speed just was too slow for me. Now we wait. Take a quick look at talents. I've kind of opted to go more for defensive, that way I could pull more. At this point though, I'm getting to the time where I actually don't have much more in the way of defense I can take. I'm not a huge fan of this, but to get to this, which is a 30% reduction on Bark Skin and Survival Instinct cooldown, I had to take it because now this is down to 2.1 minutes, this is down to 32 seconds, which means I could use this probably almost every fight, if not every fight and a half, starting to the next partial fight. So that's pretty nice. Some stuff I could have taken was auto attacks have a 20% chance to empower your next maul, stacking up to 2 times. It's kind of more of a single target thing in my opinion though. I'm not too worried about the single target. This isn't too bad. Like I said, the issue that I'm running into with this stuff is you only have one arcane spell, so I don't know how useful that actually is. However, it looks like this entire side of the tree has to do with Moonfire. That's not too bad. Thorns of Iron. Yeah, it looks like most of the stuff has to do with that. This ability I actually think is kind of cool. It's from Shadowlands. It was actually one of my favorite abilities where it basically just spams abilities, healing, and all kinds of stuff for everybody. So it's a really nice ability to use. I actually prefer it over the Guardian of... I can't hardly say that. Ursoc. So this isn't a horrible ability. So I will probably need to start taking stuff a little bit higher now just to kind of be able to get to what I want. So I will have to probably take... I'm going to take... Well, I'm not sure what I want at the very end is my only issue. That's a pretty good spell. However, I'd still think I'm going to go for this. I'm not sure if I get more than one choice. That would be pretty nice for AoE though. I am surprised this queue's taking this long. Looks like it may actually take the full 5 minutes, which isn't great for my time on recording. My last thing I think was 40 to 45. Only took me like 45 minutes total to get those 5 levels. I could go back to questing now. I have gotten to the point that my gear has caught up some. My gear fell pretty far behind from doing questing. Let me go ahead and sell out. I think I'm at about 2,000 gold. So I'm halfway to my fast flying. As I level, I get more gold for doing stuff, so that is nice.
Farewell.
Go ahead and check out the auction house real quick. After this dungeon, I might go back to classic dungeons. Classic dungeons just are so much nicer to do while leveling. Go check out armor. Miscellaneous trinkets. See if I can get me a decent trinket off the auction house. You do have to make sure to hit usable. That's an interesting trinket. Level 41 trinket, intellect, for 3 gold. I usually don't buy too much while leveling. Also, usually it's almost impossible to find anything decent for a decent price. Like, I'm not going to pay 1,000 gold just for a trinket. that I'll have to replace soon. Trinkets like this can be useful. It would be nice if it was account bound. That way, if I bought it, it's not like 3 levels and I have to throw it away type of thing. Because stuff like this is a world drop, I believe, and so is this. Let me look at the zones I got. I should be able to go do any zone I want, so I'm going to head over to Duskwood. Nope. I refuse to ever expand it, because if you expand it, I always get Cataclysm. I hate Cataclysm. Oddly enough, it pops up. Got my quest log. Before I go into Black, that's not called DragonFlight, I plan to delete all my quests. That way I can start fresh. Got my quest here. This is a pretty beginner dungeon. This and the very first dungeon I did for Wrath of the Lich King are usually the starter dungeons. They're pretty easy dungeons for that reason. Go ahead and pull everything. I forgot to buff everybody again because that's just me. My buffs are getting out of control, so I think I am going to try to hide some of them. Another dungeon with picking up stuff. There's plenty of them, so don't worry about it. Probably just going to let one of them get that, just because it's so far out of the way, I don't want to deal with it. I do wish people would kill stuff instead of grabbing quest stuff while we're fighting, though. A lot of this stuff does have increased damage as it lives, or has buffs, or anything like that. So the longer it lives, the worse off you are. You can skip most of this, however, someone always ends up walking into it. This monk and his high damage just keeps pulling aggro right off me. I'm not mad though. High damage means stuff dies insanely fast. Yep, a good example of people pulling. I wouldn't have pulled that because it's almost guaranteed to get pulled. Because of the placement of it, it's hard not to get pulled. Its aggro range is ginormous. Like, it's huge. I might run back over there and grab those real quick. I honestly thought somebody would grab him. And yeah.
I need to target something first.
You can skip the one to the left. However, half the time someone always pulls it because they don't hug the door or hug the walkway. So I kind of face this way. If someone does do it, I just charge and get the aggro real quick so no one dies.
See if you can muster the nerve to join my attack.
Don't assist. Should you handle it, don't jump into the fray.
It used to be you had to actually kill this stuff at the same time. However, now you don't have to worry too much about that.
Warriors, death.
Another time that you can kind of just get by these. Of course, I usually wait. Yeah, I wish people wouldn't do that. I was planning on pulling all the way up to the dragon, but because they pulled early. One thing to know about tanking, whoever pulls gets most of the aggro. So if you're not the tank, then you make the tank have to work to get that aggro versus I could just throw one spell and get full aggro of everything.
To the dogs.
a druid on Red Bull because it gives you wings.
And paint my face with your blood!
I think for this you do have to go back to the start of the dungeon though, unfortunately.
Good.
You can hide here. I don't really see a point.
Ingvar, your pathetic failure will serve as a warning to all. You are damned. Arise and carry out the Master's will.
It does a little bit of damage. You can kind of see on the monk. However, it's not enough. When it was current content, I think it was a one-shot. They tamed a lot of it back, mostly because they don't expect the people to know these fights anymore. At least not as good as they did know them. That's cat form only. That's actually a nice spell. I'm running into the issue of I don't really have anything to use it on though. That's one thing I'd like to see him fix for the generals. It's a way to spec into other stuff. Stuff like, I'm a bear tank. What am I supposed to spec into healing stuff? Like, it's almost not helpful at all. And I can spec into cat stuff, but when am I ever going to use most of that unless it's speed related?
Watch your back. Very good.
Gonna open these up. Decent little waist. Actually, my head's better. That's surprising.
Up with you. Watch your back. Up with you.
That's actually a really nice wrist. I kind of wish I had went with the other ones now, but hey, I won't be mad. I am level 46, almost level 47, so I got pretty much, I think, around a full level and a half from that. One dungeon. That's pretty good. I am highly surprised at an instant cube with a 3 DPS to tank party. Ooh, the Alculus. This is a fun one. So in this one, you get to use dragon riding mounts. Not the same as DragonFlight. It's actually kind of a cool mechanic I always thought was interesting because it doesn't really matter about your gear. Because what you have to do is you kill a boss on a platform, get your little dragon, fly up, do a circle of platforms, fly, do a circle of platforms, final boss. So it's pretty fast. And we're almost at the first boss now. So the way this works is there's 3 different types of drakes after you kill this boss. There's a red, bronze, and green. The green is the healer, the red's the tank, and then the bronze is the DPS. However, in the normal dungeon, you can actually have 4 bronze drakes and 1 green drake and just time freeze a ton. The issue is if you use them all at once, it kind of screws you over, so I usually just try to get the red anyway.
None shall escape. None shall escape. Nerval worms.
I believe this is the red.
Hello.
No, maybe. You do have to turn the quest, which I had already forgotten about.
Safe travel. Your victory will be short-lived. I am Commander Varos Cloudstrider. My drakes control the skies.
That's
and
not too bad.
protect this conduit. I will see to
Actually, I think I'm
your
gonna swap
knowing
that.
that the
I need
Oculus
some
does
passive
not
stuff. I'm running out of
your
ability
hand.
bars right now.
I am listening.
I think that's the healer
Hey
one.
there. See you later.
I'm sure someone's gonna get the wrong Drake. It happens every time. I think I already saw one red Drake. As long as you have 2 bronze, you should be fine. You do have to be careful. You can pull those while over here, so you do kind of want to try to stay away. If you're in combat, you cannot mount on your Drake, which can cause issues because they actually do a decent amount of damage. Once you kill this, then you have to go over to the small platforms. Go ahead, buff again. I can't remember if I buffed or not. Let me double check before everyone dismounts. Last thing you want is to have nobody on a Drake and pull one. And then to basically unlock the boss that you see over there, you just have to fly around, kill all of these. It's usually best to kind of like swerve inwards to avoid the most. Some people fly straight to it, but you are guaranteed to pull a bunch if you do that. So far we're doing pretty good. I'm surprised it's going this smooth. However, the biggest issue usually tends to be the very last boss anyway. Ooh, we have 2 greens, 2 red, and 1 bronze. That kind of sucks. Hopefully we'll be okay, because your spells will change. Oh, and then I just did the boo-boo by pulling that. I can't reach it. Hopefully someone doesn't get off their Drake. Or they sit AFK on their Drake.
There will be no mercy. Strike now! Obliterate them!
Pop it up. Now we just do another circle, kill the boss in the middle, and then kill the boss up top, and you're done. Someone has aggro, looks like. Usually you can tell if the portrait lights up red. However, for some reason, the healer's portrait's lighting up red anyway.
Those without force or understanding. How can I make you see? Magnus is saving the world from itself. You are hardly worth my time.
Ooh, that actually did a lot of damage. Not sure what happens if you die while on the Drake. I've never died. I am surprised I haven't seen very many people using Time Warp or Heroism. Some people are too afraid to use it or even forget they have it while leveling.
Still you fight. Still you cling to misguided principles. If you survive, you'll find me in the center ring.
Currently level 47 and a half after 26 minutes. Not too bad. Boss time. The one thing you have to watch out for this guy is when he teleports to the middle, unless they changed it, it's a one shot. If he hits you with it, as a tank, you might be able to live. You also have to kite because he puts some ice on the floor. It does decent damage, but if you are a healer with a little bit of AoE, you can usually outplay it.
So much unstable energy, but worth the risk to destroy you.
Okay, I guess they did tame it down a little bit. It only hit me for, probably hit me for about half my health.
Has been
It does suck if you kill him on top of the ice because the ice does not disappear.
simpletons. You cannot
You will
comprehend.
notice now when I get on this, it does have an extra ability, which is one of the reasons why you don't want
Leyline
to.
conduit will not be disrupted. Your
It's one of the
defeat
reasons why you
shall
don't
be
want to have
absolute.
multiple reds, multiple
You brash
greens, stuff like
interlopers
that.
are out of your
Wow, this guy's
element.
taking a lot of damage.
Will ground you. Foolish.
Yeah, they probably need to fix the scaling on that a little bit. You're not supposed to kill him
DragonFlight
that fast.
have won.
Go ahead and dismount, get my loot.
Will win the Nexus War.
I'm now level 48 and 3 bars left. Cranking it out. Decent waste. Go ahead and use that neck. Yeah, I'm pretty much out of stuff to use at this point, so I'm just taking random stuff. Because I really don't need the healing is the issue. The magic damage and healing honestly isn't very useful. I actually kind of want that. 3Q. Wonder if I can reach that. I can. This is pretty useful too, however, I don't know that I really want it. So I'll go ahead and take the increased healing for this. Charge. I'm not sure why it undid a bunch of this. Okay, there we go, I fixed it. I just didn't see a point of the healing stuff. It can be useful, but regrowth just works the same. I like the increased range.
I have many lucky doos. You
And
like?
repair. Oh, that sucks.
Oh, I have just the thing, Wanderer.
There we go.
I have many wares.
It would be nice if they gave the person's mouth assist a little cut of the profit. They don't, though. I don't need to keep that
Many
anymore.
farewells.
I almost accidentally left group. Looks like about a 6-minute queue, waiting on a healer. So I'm going to teleport out and go ahead and head towards Duskwood, because I doubt I'll get enough exactly unless there's quests to hit the next level. Had to readjust my mic there. I will probably try questing as Bear just because I don't feel like changing my spec. Starting to look like I'm going to be max level before, probably not max level, at least 60 before I get enough to buy flying. But with Dragon Rank, I don't even know if there's a point of buying flying at this point in the game. I like the idea of dragon flying. I think I talked about this a little bit earlier. However, I don't think it's game saving. They kind of acted like, oh, we're doing this big innovative thing of dragon flying. I'm fairly certain other games have done that and they kind of ripped off. I think Guild Wars 2 actually has something similar to dragon flying, but I'm not 100% sure because it's been a while since I played. That's just what I kind of heard through the grapevine type of thing. Realistically, I think they need to add something new that to like PvE instead of raids or mythic pluses because it's been so long since they've had innovations there. I don't think bringing back old dungeons was it was a good idea, but it's something that should have happened a long time ago. This is okay. Yeah, I did the other. There's 2 dungeons with the same exact look. This is the second one. It's a very short dungeon. However, there are a couple things that can bug in the dungeon, so you do have to be careful. I did just realize, I think earlier I took the talent. At least I thought I did. Oh no, I didn't. I forgot that I went for something else. If you're a brave soul, you can pull all this. I got nervous there. I saw 2 people at the start of the dungeon. I was like, I really hope that's not the healer after I just pulled all this. I hope they realize I'm in a net. Yeah, having people AFK at the start of the dungeon, I don't know why people do that. Like, you just teleported in. Why are you going AFK at the start? I'm not fully surprised though. This mage, I think that's what they are. They went AFK a bunch to the last dungeon I kind of noticed. Yeah, I doubt I can get combat pulled back from this. Or combat aggro, I mean. And the monk's still AFK. I usually try to be nice, however, the AFK thing, it's a little ridiculous. I mean, you just entered the dungeon, didn't even say anything. This is the part that can bug out. As you can see below me, I think there's a spider. That spider has issues sometimes if you don't kill it in a certain way. I also have seen the spider die down there too, which is another issue, because then you don't get the loot and stuff for it. I've had the issue where if the spider doesn't get all the way up here, you pull it, say, over there as a tank. To stop the spider from dying on the way up, they give it unlimited regen. You can't kill it. It just does not happen. Ooh, no, 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 no. That... I don't know why it had no health, but... example of the bug. However, it used to kill it. They may have fixed it to where it doesn't kill it now. Hopefully it lets us kill it though. Yep. I am currently level 48, almost level 49. We got one boss left, which is actually not that far. There's also another bug with this. It's kind of mean if you have water walking and you're a Death Knight, you pop it down here and someone happens to look up with like the right click of their mouse, they die. Because it's basically like fall damage. I actually never know. I guess you can skip this stuff if you do it right. Go ahead and rebuff, make sure everybody got it. I always forget if I do it or not. You can look up here and tell sometimes. And I hit the next level. The way this boss works is, at some point they dive down, bring in 2 ads, dive down, bring in 2 ads. Pretty easy fight. Unless you almost kill it on the first time, that does happen. I think the boss even does keep over time effects, but I can't remember. Nope. Teabag it. I can't remember, when the boss jumps up, it might jump straight back down. Because it's meant to go down 2 times before you kill it in normal mode. Hopefully it stays up long enough for us to kill it. Oh wow, I hit 50 off that? That's surprising. 50 in a bar. Gain 2% of a stat. That's an interesting one. For 4 seconds when shifting to bear form. That's probably more for like if you're not actually a bear, because I don't know why you'd be shifting in and out unless you're trying to go faster. So I'll go ahead and take this for now. I'll go ahead and turn in these quests. That way I'm not in any danger of hitting 51, so let's swap that. Keeping it pretty good with gear. Definitely gonna not do more of that because I've run multiple of these videos already, back to back. Here I thought I was gonna need to come out here to Duskwood. Didn't even need to.
Need help?
That only took me 42 minutes to get that 5 levels. Yeah, I'm not supposed to be doing this faster, but like I said, dungeons just are so much better in the questing.
Safe travels.
I had seen some people talk about how bad questing was. Originally I didn't realize it because it's been forever since I've had to quest without heirlooms. So my gear always stayed up, so it didn't really matter what dropped. I was kind of fine because I think I showed this earlier, but heirlooms pretty much almost cover all your gear. I mean, you got head, shoulders, back, weapon. I usually don't mess with weapons too often. Trinket, rings. I think all you have is hands, waist, feet, and wrist that you can't cover with heirlooms. And that's just 4 pieces of gear, but if everything else stays up to date, you're fine. Especially with how fast that you level. Like, all my gear besides those 4 pieces would be 145 at this point. So some of them actually would be behind a little bit. But enough of them would also be ahead. Like, this would be ahead. That would be a lot ahead. Rings, stuff like that. Anyway, that is the end of my 45 to 50 journey. Next time will be 50 to 55. I hope you enjoyed. I am kind of surprised, I will say for the last time, that my leveling speed is actually increasing as I level up instead of decreasing. That's not the way it's supposed to happen, but just goes to show you, good tank can make the dungeons go a lot faster. Time to end it with a nice little bear dance.